Hi, I'm Attorney Joel LaCourse, and I want to talk to you about the steps that you need to take if a loved one has passed away. The first thing we have to determine is, did your loved one execute a will or a trust of some other document that defines how they want their estate to be distributed after they've passed away? If they did not sign anything, and if they did not provide any documentation, then we have to begin a process of what's called probate through intestacy. In other words, there's no document that defines who gets what, and so the laws of the state of Oklahoma then will step in and they will determine the process as to who should be distributed what. We would help you evaluate your estate and make that determination and file the documents necessary to open up a process called the probate process. Now, I will tell you, if your loved one executed a will, that same process is going to also happen with you. We have to obtain your will or a copy of your will, present that to the court. The court will then begin a series of hearings. And the very first thing that they're going to do is they're going to first of all determine, is there a will or not? Is it a valid will? And then in both of the processes, they're going to determine who are the appropriate heirs and beneficiaries of that estate. The court next will evaluate and say who is the appropriate person to administrate that estate. Whether it's a family member that is offered to do it, or whether one of the documents that we described sets out who those people are going to be. Once the court identifies that person, they are going to empower them with what's called letters testamentary to actually go ahead and administer that estate. That personal representative has two primary things that they have to do. They have to gather all the assets of your loved one, identify them, value them, and then they have to then pay the creditors of the estate and distribute the remaining estate amounts to the beneficiaries, either defined by the law or defined by the will. At the end of that process, we then have to file with the court what's called a final accounting. And that's kind of an overall analysis to what was in the estate, what bills were paid, who got what, and we have to submit that to the court to allow then any creditors or beneficiaries to either object to that timely, or the court will then bless it and do a final accounting and close the estate. That process takes as much time as needed for your personal representative to gather and to figure out what needs to be paid and what needs to be distributed. For smaller estates, that process can be done in what's called a summary administration, and it can be done as quickly as about 45 days. On complex estates, it can last months and years to take place. That's the probate process here in Oklahoma. If you have questions about that, or if you need help and assistance, please contact our office. We have trained professionals here who are ready to assist you, who have done probates, who are familiar with the courts across the state of Oklahoma, who can take that burden, because it can be complex, can take it off of you, and we can assist you in going from the filing of the probate to the closing of it, right from start to finish. We'd be happy to help you. Just reach out and contact our office at lacourslaw.com, or give us a call for a complimentary appointment to find out if you need assistance with the probate process here in Oklahoma.